The papers now, see what the headlines are saying. And with me in the studio, I have with me here communications and leadership and communication strategist, Dotun Ojon. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
It's nice to see you.
Happy Monday to you.
I hope you had a great weekend, I must
Fantastic
say.
weekend, yeah.
Okay, let's begin with the Nigerian Tribune this morning. That's where we start from. All is set for Lawan's Gbajabiamila's emergence as Ndume Bago talk tough. National Assembly leadership must reflect religious balance. CUPP is saying that. That's on the Nigerian Tribune. If we move from there now, the next one now is the blueprint. Oh, sorry, the Nigerian News Direct. News Direct is the next one now. APC Presidency adamant on Lawan Gbajabiamila as Ndume Bago cake. That's what's on the News Direct. And Group 1's Dogara re-elected speaker. I will upset Lawan on Tuesday. Ndume boasts. That's you can find that on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. Okay, from Direct, let's go to The Guardian. The Guardian says Nigerians want court to stop 4.68 billion naira welcome pay for National Assembly members, new National Assembly members. The story has been going around that 4.68 billion naira was earmarked to give them as a welcome package. Okay, and there's a lot of reactions here. You can find that on the front page of The Guardian. All right, from there, the next is Vanguard newspaper. Yoruba elders to Buhari on insecurity. Fire service chiefs rejig security set up now as Afenifere Dawn Commission tangle over siege to Southwest, and they are tired out of ideas on Boko Haram kidnappings. YCE scribe is saying that. And Yoruba land under siege by herdsmen militia. Afenifere is saying that. You can find all of that on the front page of the Vanguard. The Blueprint is the next paper now. The Blueprint says 24 hours to 9th National Assembly inauguration. Ekweremadu, Abaribe, 35 PDP senators elect, back Lawan. And Gbajabiamila gets reps elect endorsement, and opposition shows maturity. Drop your ambitions. APC governors tell Ndume and Bago. You can find all of that on the front page of the Blueprint. Okay, The Nation is the next one now. Buhari governors join forces for Lawan Gbajabiamila. You can find that on the front page of The Nation newspaper. And I have joining us too now is Dr. Dayo Kayode. He is a political technocrat and he joins us now. It's good to have you join us.
Nice being here.
I guess the rain or the traffic or something was responsible?
The rain, brother.
Yeah, it's been a wet Monday.
But thank God we're here.
Okay. Now, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday has seen lots of meetings upon meetings, meeting almost every hour. There was a meeting in different places in Abuja and even out of Abuja to decide who the next leadership of the next National Assembly will be. Now, the way things is going, I wonder if it is still an affair of the National Assembly. Dr. Kayode, let me start with you on this.
Yeah, there's no how we look at it. It's still the affairs of the National Assembly, because even when we discuss outside of the National Assembly members are still going to decide who leads them, either in the Senate or in the House of Reps. But the issue is, you see, I don't really enjoy the hedonistic attitude of the party structure towards saying, look, it has to be this. You have to step down. All of them worked for the party. So if all of them have worked for the party,
give direction?
Especially
considering the experience in 2015.
Listen, my brother, the issue is, it's not that the party should not give direction, but they have to do it succinctly. Not that they just come out and say, yes, Ndume, go and sit down. Ndume worked for the party. Mark you, it was even because of the president that Ndume was suspended all the time during the 8th Assembly. Remember that? Now, this is the same Ndume that has been the leader of the House. Do you understand? So who is now saying he's not qualified? Then again, why should the party structure just come around and say, it has to be this? That means the issue of separation of power, the concept of separation of power is being undermined, which is not proper for our assembly.
All right, Doctor, let me come to you on this. You know, in the eyes of the Constitution, as far as the Constitution is concerned, it didn't specify the role of the political party as to whether they should select someone for the National Assembly and for Assembly members to endorse or not to endorse and all of that. The specification is that they from amongst the members of the National Assembly, they choose whoever. In fact, the concept of whether it should be the ruling party or not, does not emerge.
Yeah.
What do you see as abnormal here?
I think the abnormal part of it is not even the political party has the power to give direction. But when you are given the direction, you could make it a zonal thing. You could zone it for, let's say, Southwest and allow every major player within the community of states to actually come to play their game. But again, I understand the fear of the party. Meanwhile, the fear of the party, nobody should jubilate about the fear of the party. The fear of the party is that, oh, we don't want what happened in the 8th Assembly to happen. But the question I kept asking myself is that, was it the 8th Assembly that actually limited the performance of the last or the outgone administration? The answer is no, because majority of what even delayed budget in the National Assembly was the act of executive. If you read the budget very carefully, cutlery in the Aso Rock, they put cutlery, they made a budgetary provision for cutlery in 2016. In 2017, they made budgetary this thing. Even if you are serving in a party, you will not be changing cutlery, and that is what the MDAs were doing. So they played into the hand of the National Assembly, and once the National Assembly members saw that, oh, there are loopholes here and there, then they too, because they have the mindset of padding budget too, they want to hold on to the budget. So I think we should not totally blame the 8th National Assembly for whatever woes the outgoing administration actually experienced. The major thing which should be concerned to every Nigerian is wherever the leadership will come from let's say from PDP, APC, or even YPP, which has only one candidate in the Senate, whosoever will be able to lead the assembly, not just to the happiness of the executive, but to the happiness of the Nigerian people. We are ready to support.
Dr. Kayode, do you see possibly, because we have just about 24 hours to all of these now, do you see any possible upset?
Yeah, you see, like some people are claiming that they have endorsement. The issue is it about...
They're not claiming. They actually were endorsed by the...
Once it involves politicians, it's just a claim. Politicians will sign and tomorrow they will vote to another person.
Is it endorsement or election? Is it about the elephant or relevance? Is it about the titinabulation of the bell or availability and presence? Do you understand? So the issue...
But Dr. Kayode, is there anything wrong with the political party deciding this is how we want to go about our affair?
Listen, I've always been saying it. The political party can say, yes, this is how we want to go. All you need to do is zone it. You have...
Which they did.
Listen, you have 30 children. Do you know who among them will bury you? Do you know even when Lawan gets there, is going to misbehave? You don't know. Because it's not written on their heads. So the issue is you should have allowed them without being partisan. Let me tell you this. What happened in 8th Assembly? If they had left them alone, and Saraki won that thing without being rigmarolled by the party, it would have told series of party line objectives.
I totally believe
but because it was being hoodwinked, it was being withheld, it was being, do you understand, in every angle. So you know, I say, okay, is that the case? Okay, let's see how it goes. So they're now towing the same line of action. And at the end of the day, it is you and I and the people that will suffer it. And that's why we are doing all this.
All right. Let's take a look at the House of Representatives. The Yakubu Dogara as the rep speaker has not really said anything when it comes to whether he is interested in the speakership. But just yesterday, a new group came to say that we want Speaker Yakubu Dogara to be re-elected. Now, if he is interested one way or the other and all of that, what do you foresee? What do you foresee in that regard?
Even without, what's his name, Dogara coming out to say he wants to be speaker, I had always known that there's going to be a serious upset at the level of the House of Representatives. Yeah. For the Senate, okay, let's just toe the party line. Let's see whether, because majority now, the way it's looking, is carrying the vote. For the House of Representatives, because these people, if you look at them very carefully, they have the right to agitate or the right to actually aspire to be the speaker. This woman from the Southeast, for example, if really you want to unite a nation, there are some sacrifices you have to make as a people. I can sit down here and say in 2015, there was a particular man who is very powerful in APC who wanted to become the vice president. But he saw the reality on ground that, oh, Muslim ticket may not be able to fly. And he decided to lay low. So if you are looking at the interests of the nation, there are some sacrifices you have to make. In my head, I was thinking that there's nothing stopping. Either they got one vote from the southeast, either they got 2 votes, or even no vote at all. I'm thinking in my head that there's nothing stopping APC, for example, from zoning the speakership to the southeast, so that you carry everybody along.
Exactly.
Don't say because you don't get a vote from one particular section of the society. That is not leadership with character. No. Leadership with character, the C in character, means that you carry everybody along. Everybody will not do your bidding. You
involve everybody. Let everybody be
listen to the voices of opposition.
On the other hand, political watchers will say it is the issue of majority. Majority carries the vote. It is a normal thing anywhere that any politician would say. Some people will argue from that window.
When you are talking about majority, in what sense now? That because some people voted for him and some did not vote? We are talking about an assembly now. They are there to represent Nigeria. And when Nigeria is being represented, they're not talking about, it's not supposed to be about PDP or you or APC. It's about you and me. Now, how do we get everybody involved to stop all these series of agitations and the kidnappings and all that?
Yeah, but there's a difference. Involved. Dr. Kayode,
Jesus Christ was saying
Dr.
Kayode,
Dotun, the point there is there's a difference between the concept of the politicking and the governance. At this level of choosing who is the leader of is still the issue of politicking. By the time they get in, before we talk about the issue of governance.
Now, when politicking now blinds you from seeing the reality of governance, you are going to have an issue. Jesus Christ was making an assertion that if you have 100 sheep or 110, that one of them gets missing, you are going to leave the 99 and look for a torchlight and be searching all over the place to get that one.
Oh, yes.
You understand? That's a good leader. A good leader is going to do that. A good leader is going to think, oh, because these people didn't vote for me, a good leader is going to think, I don't mind whether these people vote for me for the sake of the unity of the nation. Because the first thing you have to talk about is the security and the unity of the people. You will not allow politics to blind you from seeing that reality.
This election of the National Assembly is still the road to getting to that level of governance.
But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. The Southeast people have been saying that, look, the Southwest is having the vice presidency. So why can't House of Reps move to them? Which is the truth for me, which is number one, which is the truth.
But they've had the Deputy Senate President.
We are talking about leadership now. We are talking of leadership, involvement in decision taking. We are talking about leadership of the National Assembly. You have to talk about the Speaker of the House of Reps before you talk about Deputy Senate President. So they are looking at that echelon of leadership to be involved in it. So that, I mean, the only people have been saying is you cannot trust them because of civil war. Something that we have gone past. Why are people still
not even about civil war? It's because of PDP.
I think Nigerians, when it comes to the issue of the civil war, I think Nigerians have gone past
that. That you cannot trust the Igbo. They are still saying it.
No, the problem is the problem of PDP.
I think we've gone past that. I mean, and Nigeria has healed from that.
Yes, if they are not trusting them, now it's not because of civil war.
It is more the politics of.
They believe that majority of them have PDP blood in them. It's not even the issue of civil war.
A lot of them see it as the issue of political party at this time and all of that. But the point there is, going forward, in fact, I want to see from you were mentioning a woman earlier on, the role of women in this whole 9th National Assembly doesn't seem to come to the fore so much because we don't have enough women.
Because they are not trying to come out. Let me tell you, if
women are not trying to come out.
If one of them can just say, yes, I want to contest for deputy.
Women are not trying to come out.
If one of them can come out to say, I want to be deputy speaker, or I want to be I want to be vice president, I can assure you, they too will muster support. But where are they? They are not, I mean, it's appalling that none of them is coming out. I was expecting somebody like Ikiruka, Honorable Ikiruka, because she too has been in the house, you understand, for a while. Why is she not coming out? There are so many of them that are supposed to come out, but probably they want to be satisfied with the leadership of the committee and all that.
No, I think it's even foundational. The first thing you think about is how many of them are actually there. That's the first question you ask yourself, because it is foundational. We have a cultural and perhaps economic restraint on their part or constraint on their part.
No.
For example,
Economic, no.
For example, if a PDP is saying, oh, we are not going to sell our expression of interest form for House of Assembly less than ₦1 million, and APC is doing the same thing, the first thing you have been able to do is to cage the youth and women, because whatever affects the woman actually affects the younger generation.
But they are not paying for forms in the National Assembly.
Hold on, sir. That's the first step.
No, he's laying the foundation.
The second step is, where do you get the money to execute election? A friend of mine wants to contest as governor of a state, and he asked an agency to go make a research as to how much it will cost to win an election. And they came back to tell him that he's going to spend 1.2 billion naira. A woman may not be able to have the capacity to go borrow money all over town, because once you move from one house to the other, this is where cultural constraint comes in. Once you begin to move from Dr. Kayode to Veronica and everybody, they go tell your husband that you're sleeping around. So these are some of the constraints in the community.
It depends on how supportive the husband is.
Except we address some of these constraints and make the field more open, then we continue to have men-dominated world. Unfortunately, it's not as if when it comes to governance and leadership, go look at, let's start from media houses. If you check the media houses in Lagos now, women are almost taking over. It's not as if when it comes to leadership in organizations and government, that men are really better.
Okay. Well, when it comes to performance, it has to do with what you have up there.
Yes, and not gender.
It's a cycle.
And there is no measurement to say men are better than women when it comes to ideas and concepts. All right, we have to leave you here now. Thank you very much, Dr. Ojon, for coming.
It's a pleasure.
And Dr. Dayo Kayode, thank you very much for coming as well.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Right, so
Stories making the headlines in Nigerian newspapers. I have with me in the studio political technocrat and aviation expert, Dr. Dayo Kayode, as well as leadership and communication strategist, Dotun Ojon. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on TVC Breakfast. All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I start with The Nation. Buhari governors join forces for Lawan, Gbajabiamila presidential backing for Omo Agege, plot against House leader uncovered. And we move to the Vanguard. Yoruba elders to Buhari on insecurity. Fire service chiefs rejig security setup now as Afenifere Dawn Commission tango over siege in Southwest. They are tired out of ideas on Boko Haram kidnappings, YCE scribe. Yoruba land under siege by herdsmen, militia, Afenifere. To the front page of The Guardian, Nigerians want court to stop 4.68 billion naira welcome pay for National Assembly. Northern groups caution Buhari, others over Lawan Gbajabiamila say Tinubu, El-Rufai or Shomoli have hidden agenda. Stick to the rule, President tells National Clerk. And to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, all set for Lawan's Gbajabiamila's emergence as Ndume Bago talk tough. National Assembly leadership must reflect religious balance. COP. And to the front page of Nigerian News Direct, APC Presidency adamant on Lawan Gbajabiamila asks Ndume Bago kick. Group wants Dogara re-elected speaker. I will upset Lawan on Tuesday, Ndume boasts. To the front page of the Blueprint, 24 hours to ninth National Assembly inauguration. Ekwere Madu Abaribe, 35 PDP senators elect back Lawan. Gbajabiamila gets reps elect endorsement. Opposition shows maturity. Drop your ambition, APC governors tell Ndume Bago. And finally, on the front page of the New Telegraph, NAS leadership, Buhari governors, APC, PDP hold crucial talks. APC plans to track votes. And PDP senators back Lawan. Governors endorse ex-Senate leader Gbajabiamila. DSP, I won't step down for anybody, Ali Kimena. All right, gentlemen, the story I'd like for us to look at is on the front page of The Guardian, and Nigerians want the courts to stop the welcome pay for the National Assembly. 4.6 billion naira in these economic realities that we are facing, Dotun Ojon.
I don't want you to cage me this one.
I'm not caging you.
My view on this may be an unpopular one, but the fault is not for the National Assembly. It's the fault of the system. And when you talk about system, that's why when you talk about system, in reality, APC and PDP, they operate the same template, and that's why they are on the same level. Now, the system is very simple. I am not against anybody and anything if we have a faulty system that produced them. This is the faulty system that produced them. The faulty system that produced them stipulates that a presidential candidate of APC will pay over, I don't know how much they pay for the expression of interest forms for that million
So
naira.
are you saying now
I am saying because
this
the
is
system
justified,
the system is faulty from the beginning, and they got our money because you and I, okay, maybe you and I, maybe we are educated, we are a little bit enlightened, because people on the street will continue to demand money before they vote. All this money, where do you want them to get it back?
So does that justify this amount?
Wrong may not be able to justify wrong, but it is never the fault of anybody.
So, my friend, this time around, I am totally away from your thinking.
Yes,
This is what I call height of Epicurean behavior.
Please, you need to break that down.
And reckless abandonment of the electorate. Let me ask you, if you are being employed, would they first of all give you welcome, whatever they call it? We, the people, elected them to go there and serve us.
Besides, they came out to say they want to express themselves.
And even they came out to say they want to do this and that. I haven't known that. Look, if you are coming from Bauchi, or you are coming from Enugu, or you are coming from my state, Ekiti, to go and serve me in Abuja as a senator or member of House of Reps, you have to provide for your initial accommodation or whatever they want them to use that money for. These are part of the things that are making the system to rot. Let us call a spade a spade. Listen, my brother. Listen, my brother. When you are talking about the system, listen.
Okay, so should we continue?
Should we continue that way?
So the money I spent on election.
You were not forced. Were you forced?
Politics business is politics. Are you now saying politics is business or service?
People of Nigeria.
Were you forced? Were you forced?
Now I know that.
Were you forced?
I was not forced. I expressed myself that.
Of course.
Oh, I thought it's a normal society. And I felt, I want to run for an election.
At what point do you want us to make a society normal? At what point? Listen, Dotun, at what point do you want to make a society normal?
Let me make my point. I felt that this is a normal society. And I came out to express my interest that I want to represent.
You have been part of this society, remember?
I felt things are getting better. I felt things are getting better.
Right.
When APC came, I thought things would begin to get better.
Okay, when you see
is this about the party?
I'm telling you my perception. This is my perception. And I came out and I said,
let me help your perception.
I want to contest. I want to go to the Senate.
All right.
And the party suddenly, PDP, APC, suddenly asked me to go bring millions of naira.
And then you sit down.
And I went to my family members to borrow this money because if I do not do that, another person is going to do that. I go to my family members to borrow money to invest it in election. I use the word investment. Because the people under the bridge in my 12 will never vote for me. This is the reality of what
election is now business. That's what it is.
That is what Nigerians have turned into. Until we get to a point. Hold on, sir. Until we get to a point where we understand that these people are elected to serve. But the way it is now.
At what point do we start that? At what point?
Let me make this point. Even if I'm elected or you are elected today, and I've had this experience, you are elected as a House of Assembly member, and you go back to your community, and you have not built house, your mother will need help practically and say, are you in share? Go and build house. Because this is the expectation of the people. The people expect you to go there and steal money.
But change is supposed to begin where?
At what point do we change this narrative?
Education.
I'm asking you.
Education.
At what point?
We begin from education.
So how do you not educate them when you're now saying it's the normal thing in the society?
But how can this,
gentlemen,
I need to ask, how can this be normal when you still have the poorest of the poor, a nation being termed as having the poorest of the poor?
Now, you see, the issue is this. The issue is this. And I will keep on saying this. At any point in time, we should always think deep. Instead of saying this thing is normal, then we should go along with it. Yes, we know it is not normal. We know that electioneering in Nigeria is expensive. But then, those people that are leading, are they not supposed to lead by example? How can you now come? You see, we are being stupefied. Nothing other than that. They're now telling us that, look, when we get there, it is not about you, but about me.
Of course. Now, how did they deliver on their mandate?
How did they now deliver on their mandate?
With this system,
do you understand?
It's going to be.
Must we continue that way?
Hold on, sir. Who's going to change the system?
You and I.
So now,
until you and I love the word you and I, until you and I, in reality, agree that we are going to not educate ourselves. We have attained the level of education until you and I agree that we are going to pay the cost of going back to our community and telling the people that when you go out to vote, you don't need to demand money from people.
You see,
I have seen reality. A friend of mine contested. Let me just be factual with you. Went to the House of Reps. We had to go to a bank. I don't want to mention the name of the bank. To go raise money. When it was a by-election, no, not even the normal election. When he got there, they paid him 18 million. They paid him 18 million initial, this thing I'm talking about few years back. He had to call me and say, this is the amount of money they paid him, that he want to give it to the family of the guy that died there. But in reality, I told him, so where do you want to pay your loans? I had to tell him, if you return it to the family. So until we sort out from the beginning, I'm not going to
where is this
expect
beginning?
Do you understand? The beginning could be now.
This one will go.
No.
This one will go because these people have already spent money. You and I have collected money
But we've been
from
talking
them
about
already.
cutting the cost of
Hold on.
governance.
There was a time in this nation.
In which
there
country?
was a time in this nation that 25% was used to service the National Assembly of our entire budget. I understand all these implications, but I am not going to support. You see, the talking on television is a little bit different from the reality on ground. And I can talk from both sides because I know how much these people have invested to serve you. I said it last week that to serve Nigeria has become by force because you have to practically beg people.
Dotun, let me put this across to you.
Listen,
let me put this to you.
That's
Let me
why
put
we
this to you.
have now.
Nigeria is not by force.
Do you know why incessant government have been coming in and embezzling without anything happening? Because each time they come in, they will say, let us take what we want to take. Nothing will happen. And at the end of the day, too, nothing will happen. And you and I will say, oh, no problem. In another 4 years, they will just say 4 years. But then the issue is, at a point in time, we have to change the narrative.
Where does this change begin?
That is what I'm saying now. We can say now. No, APC. Is it
about the party?
It's not about APC.
It's beyond the party.
PDP, Dotun. It's about the country. Between you and me, I don't see National Assembly
Anytime
as
I have
APC
hope.
or PDP.
See.
I see National Assembly as
people
National Assembly
elected to
for
serve
the
the
people.
people.
You
To
know,
serve the people.
I take my 12 every day.
All right.
I'm a very hopeful Nigerian. I have hope that Nigeria is going to get better.
While
And
I
look
take
up for
Alagbole to every day.
leadership every day. But once I get to my 12, Ambode, before he left, invested heavily to save the life of people in my 12. They themselves went there with motosaw. They cut all the back, what's it called? Those wire there. They cut everything. So the problem of Nigerian people is Nigerian people. Until you stop collecting money and rights every December from politicians, we continue to hear billions of naira going to their pockets.
Nigerians definitely are listening to you, gentlemen.
They are distributing rice
Thank
in
you,
Ilorin
thank
now.
you so much for your contribution.
I don't know.
All right,
I
gentlemen, we need to move on now. You're watching TVC Breakfast, and we're streaming live on.
Into the papers now. See what the headlines are saying this morning across Nigeria. I have with me political technocrat and aviation expert, Dr. Dayo Kayode, as well as leadership and communication strategist, Dr. Ojon. Gentlemen, it's good to have you join me.
It's good to be here.
All right, let's begin with the Nation newspaper. That's where we start from this morning. Buhari governors join forces for Lawan, Gbajabiamila, and the presidential backing for Omar Higi, a plot against House leader uncovered. Okay, all of those on the front page of the Nation. Now, let's move to the Vanguard. The Vanguard is our next paper now. Yoruba elders to Buhari on insecurity. Fire service chiefs rejig security setup now. And has some multiple riders there, says Asafanifere Dawn Commission tangle over siege to southwest. And they're tired out of ideas on Boko Haram kidnappings. The YCE scribe is saying that. And Yoruba land under siege by herdsmen militia. Afanifere is saying that. You find all that on the front page of the Vanguard. Okay. From there, let's go to The Guardian. The Guardian says Nigerians want court to stop 4.68 billion naira welcome pay for National Assembly members. Okay, you find all that on The Guardian newspaper. Now, the next is Nigerian Tribune. All set for Lawan's Gbajabiamila's emergence as Ndume Bago talk tough. A National Assembly leadership must reflect religious balance. CUPP is saying that. Okay. From there, let's go now to Nigerian News Direct. News Direct says APC presidency adamant on Lawan Gbajabiamila as Ndume Bago cake. And Group 1's Dogara re-elected speaker. I will upset Lawan on Tuesday, Ndume boasts. You can find all that on the front page of the News Direct. Okay, next is the blueprint. 24 hours to 9th National Assembly inauguration. Ekweremadu Abaribe, 35 PDP senators elect back Lawan. Gbajabiamila gets reps elect endorsement, and opposition shows maturity. Drop your ambitions, APC governors tell Ndume and Bago. Okay, you find all that on the blueprint. Okay, from there let's go to the New Telegraph, which is the last one this morning. National Assembly leadership, Buhari governors, APC, PDP hold crucial talks. Certainly that is expected today. Now, APC plans to track votes, and PDP senators back Lawan, and governors endorse ex-Senate leader, Gbajabiamila, and DSP, that's Deputy Senate President. I wouldn't step down for anybody. Ali Mikena is saying that. Okay. Gentlemen, I'd like us to talk about the issue of security. One of the issues on the front page of the Vanguard, let's go there this morning. Yoruba elders to Buhari on insecurity. Fire service chiefs reject security setup now. There has been calls for the reshuffling or the renewal or review of the leadership of the service chiefs and all of that. But others are saying it's not about who is at the top of all of this. It is about the strategy and the will. Doctor, let me start with you on this.
It is the strategy and the will. I think our strategy as a nation is outdated. I had repeatedly said that you can't tackle a 21st century ailment with a 19th century medication. What you will get at best is a 20th century healing. That's what is playing out, obviously. Now, we are not taking things the way they are. The Global Terrorism Index for last year, 2018, ranks Nigeria third or so, and the first in Africa. Now, of a country suffering terrorism, that to me is an indictment, is an insult. Because even Somalia is far, far behind us. Egypt is far, far behind us. And Somalia, if you remember the story of Al-Shabaab in Somalia got to a point that they were setting up radio stations in Somalia. Now we have overtaken all of them within this short period of time. And the recorded deaths that is caused, especially by herdsmen, is close to 2,000 people in 2018 alone. That's recorded death. And we cannot continue to think that we want to execute this war the same old way. My concern is not that we want to end it. My concern is that let's show consistency. Don't let us show that we are not concerned about the lives of people that are being wasted daily. And the emphasis now has been on herdsmen. I don't know if World Terrorism Index is ranking Nigeria third because of the activities of herdsmen. I don't know why Nigeria will not make them, put them in terrorist list. Okay,
Dr. Kayode, when it comes to the issue of herdsmen and all of these attacks on people across different states, although we have heard, attacks here and there, but it seemed not to be as bad as it used to be a few months ago.
You see, the issue is that our leaders, they're not seeing this issue of security as being anemic and antithetical to economic development. How do I mean? Look at your news just now. A former bubbling economic town, that junction, is now a shadow of itself. They're not looking at that. They're not looking at how they can come up with a comprehensive and pragmatic conceptual framework to tackle this issue. What do I mean? They are talking about they should change service chiefs. They are talking about state police. It's not about that. Listen, if they can be sending to each state somebody as commissioner of police who is from that state. For instance, if I'm a commissioner of police and they send me to Ekiti, where I come from, to go and lead the security personnel there, I know the nooks and crannies of Ekiti and how to deploy.
Yeah, but
Listen,
but that's you.
I'm coming up. Listen, I'm coming up.
The
I'm
other
coming up
commissioner
with
of
a
police.
framework.
It's possible the other commissioner of police is born and bred in Lagos, and then he's going to Taraba State.
Listen,
for
what
the
I'm
first
saying
time.
maybe
is,
his
what
own
I'm saying
community
is,
is
no,
having
listen, what I'm
issues
saying
with another
is, I'm trying to profile a solution,
Right.
a kind of framework. Now, let the area commanders also come from that locality, especially your locality of development, where you develop from, where you grew up from. Now they can now bring in other ones. Do you understand? So I know how I will deploy it. Again, all these governors, what are they doing with their security vote? What stops them from buying drones? How much do we buy drones? That will be combing the whole territory of their state. And then they can now say, look, this is what is happening here, this is what is happening there. I've always been saying this again. Our Niger ComSat, what are they doing? This is an institution that gets budgetary allocation every year. We have satellites in the space. Do you understand? That can comb the whole geographical territory of Nigeria and then see movements.
Yeah, maybe it was configured for ecological, environmental, agricultural issues.
If it is ecological or whatever, it will be taking some areas of the country. So also
right.
you will be seeing movements and all that.
All right, Dotun,
I mean,
Dotun, when it comes to the issue of state police, like he's saying, we heard, I think in one of the reports earlier, Governor Dayo of Taraba State was saying, let us have state police. Now, what difference would that really make in the scheme of things?
It's simple. It's very simple. We are just going to duplicate inefficiency.
Why is that?
If we have state police, and this is what I mean.
Isn't that the right way to go?
Let's look at it from this way.
Really.
We're having issues with the Nigeria police as we speak now. And if you want to duplicate it, except you are going to come out of another society that is different from the system that we are operating in. But I tell you that they are going to take their template. Look at, I'm going to cite an example of, I'm sorry to mention LASMA, for example. LASMA, I think the last appointment they made into the headship of LASMA was a retired policeman. That's exactly what is going to happen when you start state police. You are going to be looking for people who have experience in policing, and they are going to bring their old expertise and experience of the national police into running your state police. Then you continue to harass people. You will not be able to achieve results. We have not even talked about political reasons why I think we are not right for it.
Okay, well, we'll take that as strictly your opinion anyway. But Nigerians have different, in fact, varying opinions here and there. So, sorry, we have to leave you here now.
Okay.
Dr. Ojon, thank you very much for coming. Dr. Dayo Kayode, thank you very much for coming as well.
Pleasure.
Thank you.